Welcome to Crimson Guitars, and don't forget about the Black Friday sale. Stop shouting. The time has come to relax. The 9-hour build final touches. Alright, you fantastic people have stuck it out. You spent 9 hours, 6 minutes and 20 seconds watching me build this thing, and then assorted minutes and stuff afterwards watching us play. And the problem was, while I was surprisingly happy with the fretwork and the playability and even the sound, although I'm sure I wired the switch around the wrong way, I'm not happy with the finish. It's managed to take a supremely gorgeous piece of timber, 3 supremely gorgeous pieces of timber, and it ended up looking dry and unloved. And you can't have dry, unloved wood. It's just not allowed. So this video is just a few minutes of, this is the day after. Overmorrow. I'm going to introduce you to my favourite word. Overmorrow is the day after tomorrow. And I came back after a couple of days and took the whole guitar apart while taking copious photographs. And just gave it a little bit more love. So technically, or not even technically, in reality, I have failed the 9-hour guitar build spectacularly. If you're gonna screw up, go all out. So that's what I've done really. The finish, in my haste at the end of the build, I chose to go with a raw Renaissance wax without anything in the substrate, and basically it looked fantastic for right at the beginning. It went on and it was shiny and glossy, but ended up looking dry and drab and slightly boring. Now, the beautiful thing about Renaissance wax is that with white spirit you can completely remove it from whatever you have used it on, and it dissolves away and is gone. And it was specifically designed that way for use in the museum industry, to protect paintings and statues and bronzes, etc. So it is suitable for use with everything from stonework to raw wood. Anyway, so we're at the stage of taking the guitar apart now, which, I'm not going to lie, is slightly, I don't know, naughty. It feels naughty. This is the 9-hour build. By the end of this process, I've actually spent closer to 11 or 12 hours working on her. But, as this guitar is currently up for sale, I just didn't feel right sending it out, knowing that I could improve it with just a little bit more time. It's not going to be at the level of the 90-hour version that I am going to build and film at some point soon, but it is entirely playable and much, much prettier than it was right at the end of the video. The fantastic Valenti pickups. So, here we go. Removing the last of the hardware. Those pots are still poking through at slightly odd angles, so I'm going to have to fix that. Somebody's stolen my lovely metal knurled tool for taking switches off. I'm going to find them and find my tool and recover it. It's very weird talking like this. But anyway, so now I'm not going to take apart all of the electronics if I can help it. I'm still in the let's time this mode. So the switch was just covered over with masking tape. I do need to desolder the pots though. Bits and pieces. This is a good trick. The same thread as that of the ferrule, pushed down to the bottom of the hole, will pull the ferrule out. And yeah, if you're lucky, you have the right thread. So, Crimson Guitar's fret end dressing file, round the ends over with the flat side, or at least, yes, you round over horizontally, and then with the rounded side you will round it over. I'm not sure if any of that made sense. Guitar builders will understand. And this is really important. Fret ends have to be as perfect and polished and round and pristine as humanly possible. And yes, these weren't. Let's say that. The other thing that I forgot to do in my haste at the end of the video was to oil the fretboard in any way, shape or form. So that is raw, which is good for this particular job, putting masking tape on while I'm about to do the fretwork. It means that the masking tape will actually stick for a change. Crikey, that looks gaudy now, doesn't it? Anyway, Crimson Guitars, Crimson tape, got to be done. So, the tops of the frets are masked off, or marked off with permanent marker, and then with my favourite levelling file, I remove any excess until all of the marker is gone and we don't have any low spots. Get rid of all of the waste as you go. Fret ends and fret dust is problematic. Use a fret rocker to more slowly check, hello Luigi in the background, to check that none of the frets are rocking. Each of our fret rockers is absolutely precisely ground, well, it's hand lapped actually, to be perfectly flat. Now, with a traditional crowning file, again, one of our tools, crown the frets so that you have as thin a line of marker as possible. That means that the intonation point of each fret will be as small as possible and therefore as accurate as possible. Wet and dry sandpaper, 400 grit, 600 grit, thereabouts. Getting rid of any scratches from the crowning file and the leveling file. And we move on to our fret rubbers. This is a new tool that I've been developing. It's the fret strop, and essentially it is a lovely flat piece of wood with leather on, and you impregnate the leather with a polishing compound, and it's a nice, relaxed, quiet and cheap way of buffing the frets to the final shine. All of the masking tape comes off really easily. And we see our Kingwood fretboard revealed one final time. By gum, that's pretty. But that white spirit shows you what it should look like. Look at that difference. So the white spirit is dissolving the wax. And when that has cured, or dried and off-gassed and gone away, we're left with raw wood again. And here is the star of the show. This is a finishing oil that we developed. We were a bit naughty. We reverse engineered True Oil, which is a very good oil, albeit it ships in plastic, which means that the oil itself degrades and has to be replaced quicker, and it goes on too thick. So we, in partnership with two chemists who work for one of the biggest and best finish creating companies in the country, developed this oil based on True Oil, but better. And there we go. Load as much oil as you can into the wood. It is soaked right up, and then with 1200 grit, and if you're feeling energetic, again with 2000 grit, I rub the oil in as much as humanly possible. This acts as a pore filler as well and gives you a smoother finish. The next thing to do is wipe away every single small little bit of excess. You do not want to leave any oil wet, because that will create a film finish on the top of the wood rather than inside of it, and can get rather ugly. After a couple of coats of the oil, back to the Renaissance wax. I still love it. It's a microcrystalline wax, and I use the heat gun to warm up the rag that I'm using. Be careful not to burn my fingers or set fire to the rag, I must say. And here you see the difference. Now, I'm not going for an absolutely perfect finish. I could get this to a medium gloss, actually. Yes. These were not supposed to be part of that slideshow. Photographs that were taken during the build, actually, and fantastically so. Anyway, here is the finished result, really. What was looking very dry and rather disappointing now has a life and energy. This is our fretboard restorative. It replaces the, frankly, rather nasty lemon oil that I've used for many, many years. Lemon oil is based on petroleum products, basically. It's 80% diesel, effectively. And we've replaced it with an all-natural alternative. And again, the fretboard, you can see that fantastic black at the end. The fretboard is now looking like it has life. So now for the fun bits. The bridge pickup wasn't quite high enough, but I did want it fixed down permanently and without springs, actually. I think that improves the sound. So the pickup is reinstalled, followed by the neck pickup, and it's coming back to life. Now I need to go in and adjust those holes to improve the angle of the pots, but also reinstall the bridge, the tailpiece, the tuners. I'm not going to make a truss rod cover. I think that is pushing it a little bit far over what I built in the actual build. Don't you just love replacing strings that you've only just taken off? Especially putting them through a through body ferrule. That's just an absolute nightmare. Anyway, the fretboard wooden knobs back in place. Back plates. I also did not have the time to put any more screws on there during the build, and I didn't want the back plates to warp, so more screws it is. Leather as well. Leather underneath the strap buttons. It's a different instrument. Just a little bit more work and you have... my God. Look at that. I must say I'm glad the process is over. This was fantastically stressful and totally self-inflicted. The rest of the story is up to you. The question is, who is going to own this fantastic guitar moving forward? She's going up for sale. Within an hour or two of this video going live, there will be an auction at crimsonguitars.com. So if you are within a couple of days, I don't know how long it's going to be, let's say 7 days. If you are within 7 days of Black Friday 2016, this guitar could be yours. Come back for the next video, the demo, in 1 hour. Oh my goodness. Completely forgetting that I built this. As a guitar lover, as a lover of wood, and all things strung. Blimey. Yes, check out the demo. We've shot a full demo with Phil, and that's coming up next. I'm going to leave you to look at these things. Goodbye. Ben Crow, Crimson Guitars, over and out. He just can't stop talking, can he?